Hello and good evening. I'd like to give an especially warm welcome to everyone joining us tonight for our finale of our Cthulhu two-part special. We are going to get through some quick announcements and we'll introduce our wonderful investigators. Just a reminder of who everyone's playing before we begin. I'll start us off with a quick reminder that the New Age Geeks includes more than just us. It relies on all of you wonderful geeks and your participation in the community that we are building together. If you want to become one of the New Age Geeks, you can. Just join our Discord, subscribe to our Twitch and YouTube channels where you'll find moderated chats, emotes by one of our favorite geeks, Sarah. Hi, Sarah! And chat rooms with the cast and other members of our growing community. Remember, the best way to help us out with the algorithm is engagement. So watch the video all the way through, like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so all these platforms know to share us with everyone else. Speaking of engagement, we would love it if you would please make sure to clip any of your favorite moments from the show. The funny moments, sad moments, and the spooky moments. Beyond that, we have posts going up on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. If you're on any of those platforms, make sure to follow us there as well for more geeky goodness. And I think we will just quickly have everyone introduce yourself and remind our viewers who you are playing this evening, and we'll go ahead and get started. We'll start quickly with Taz, and we'll just hop around.
Hey, I'm Taz, or I'm Ruby. I'm not really sure what's going on, and I'm not really sure why I keep having to paint things everywhere in this place, and I'm starting to get a little bit concerned. But that's enough about me. Dave?
I can't hear you.
I'm Dick Dan Diamond, private investigator from New York. Here to investigate all the strange disappearance of a lovely young lady who was part of this small orchestra band. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. Besides that, I'm Joe. You can find me on New Age Geeks and New Age Cosplay, where I do cosplay stuff, though not very well. That's all I got for now. Tech.
What's up, everybody? Tech here. You can find me everywhere. TEKFROST. I will be playing my boy Atticus, and we are both here doing the same thing, trying not to be scared, get scared, scare anybody, and go home safely. He runs a museum that he's trying to find something nice to put in, and he just doesn't want to end up in it. And over to you, bad at names, Marianne Wilkins.
Well, hi there. I'm Marianne Wilkins, and I'm from a small town called Magnolia Springs, Alabama. And I'm here to make it big. And until I get my big break, I work as a bartender. Well, I work at an estate where we do not serve alcohol during a prohibition. We have this here for communion every Sundays.
And I am Hans. I will be your keeper of arcane lore for the evening. One quick reminder before we get going that Call of Cthulhu by nature is a horror-based TTRPG. There is always the potential that we will be dealing with phobias, manias, hallucinations, and themes of body horror, eldritch terror, and mild gore. I just want to remind all of our viewers joining us tonight that while we will try to keep the stream PG-13, there is still the chance that what occurs may be triggering for some. Please feel free to step away if you need to and rejoin us when you're ready. And if no one has anything else, I already promised someone else that I might try. Our investigators last found themselves invited or working at a party here at the Everett Lodge, the summer estate of Clara Everett. Drinks and conversation were had before a small concert began. A moving, somber piece that brought a multitude of emotions to both the guests and our investigators. However, at the music's peak, a wrong note brought both distress and tears of blood to the star violinist. Many of the guests decided to leave, though our investigators decided to stay, take a closer look, either through genuine concern or selfish motives. A surprise performance and many more secrets await them yet this evening. And I believe we left off with Atticus.
Oh, yes. Exact words. These notes is killing people? I'm not gonna reach in and grab the notes exactly, but I'm gonna pat my chest. So, when you're saying wrong, the notes hurt you, you feel like?
At this point, I believe Evelyn Hale has actually run out of the bathroom after being, we'll say, interrogated by our private investigator. I think we left with all four of you in the bathroom in the East Wing, where a painting of a small yellow symbol was discovered under the sink from our wonderful artist Ruby. And yes, notes are apparently made to kill.
Oh yes, I was speaking with Ruby. So, Ruby, when did you start making these drawings?
Oh, I'm not. I didn't. I was totally joking with you. Oh, you should have seen your face. A lot of weird things going on here. Just a little tease.
Okay. I don't know which Ruby is thinking that they're telling the truth here, but I'll just believe both of you are telling the truth about what you say you do and do not do. How about you, Miss Wilkins? Are you savvy with any of this, knowing about people bleeding from the face? And you work here. Does this happen often?
Can't say I've seen anything like that before, but I talk to people all the time. Okay, I'm gonna roll to see if Ruby's telling the truth. Let me see. What would I?
I would say if you would like to roll either psychoanalyze or psychology, and I will have a contested roll here. Ruby, if you wouldn't mind, I would give it to you for fast talk or persuade, your choice.
Don't even bother.
No success.
It's 82.
We'll just see what they roll. This will be more contested than appears.
Fair enough.
Here.
I actually rolled a 10 for fast talk, and that is within my half.
Oh, that's a hard success. For just anyone even hearing it, it sounds like she means exactly what she says. There's no tone of insincerity there. Was just being silly.
Just a jokester.
Well, that makes complete sense. I say the darndest things sometimes too, I tell you.
You know, it's a party. We have to have fun with each other.
No.
Okay.
We've all had a lot of the, blood of the Lord tonight.
Y'all was drinking what? Oh, no.
I'm ready for my
No,
third
no.
class.
The blood of Christ?
I don't know about you, Mr. Ruby. I didn't drink any blood of Christ. Is that like a delicacy up here? Is y'all like a normal drink?
I think she's referring to the illegal activities that they're engaging in here. I had gin myself, though not much. I'll admit.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I guess I also had some of that blood of Christ that you speak of. Okay. I'm just gonna go check that painting out front again. The one with the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just
Okay.
to check something if y'all don't mind.
So go ahead. I'm gonna get some water.
Okay, so we have one person heading back to the great room. I'm assuming water in the kitchen?
Sure.
Okay. What are our other two investigators doing?
So, I believe that Ruby told the truth about the mark underneath the sink, but I haven't seen it yet, so I'm just gonna look at it, even though there's not jack shit I could do to figure out anything more about it. I'm just gonna look at it, and I'm gonna kind of like, what's that drawn on with? Is that mustard? Or I'm just like,
Okay. We'll resolve this one first, since this is easy as the other two exit the room. Dan, are you staying in the room or exiting as well?
Can I see if anything else in the bathroom? See if I notice anything else.
Just a quick glance around. There really is not much in the bathroom itself. I'll say you don't even have to roll for that.
Okay.
Marianne, you kind of get down hands and knees to look underneath the sink, and there is kind of a yellow series of swirls painted there. And you kind of reach out to try and like rub it off, and you discover it really isn't moving. It was painted on. And there is kind of a moment where time almost feels like it slows as you're looking out and touching this symbol. If you wouldn't mind rolling me a sanity check, please and thank you.
okay.
Hmm?
So that is. Wait a second. Yeah, that's a 7.
And it kind of, again, there's a feeling of time slows for a moment, and then almost like the ambient noises of the room come rushing back, and you kind of lean back and you're like, weird, it's just a painted symbol. Nothing really stands out about it to you. You haven't seen it before.
Okay.
And yeah, nothing, it's just a painted swirl.
I'll start like heading for the door, but I'm not in a rush. Like, oh, okay, I guess I'll keep going.
Are to exit out and turn right to walk back toward the great room. We have Ruby, who breaks off and steps into the kitchen. That is now quiet. There's no noise. And it is a very nice, large kitchen. I refuse to describe it again fully.
Are you sure?
I do.
We need to paint a picture for the audience.
Paint us a word picture, Kate.
Close your
you
eyes.
can go back and watch the first one if you want that description. But there is the large sink. There are kind of like open shelves to one side where you could easily find just a glass to get water if you wanted water. Was there anything else you were looking for in the kitchen?
No, I just wanted to get away, so I'll head straight to the sink. I'll first just grab hold of the sink with both of my hands and kind of like relax my body completely, like, wow, that was close. I don't know what happened. And then I'm going to turn on the faucet. Am I good? I'm good. I'm gonna turn on the faucet. I'm gonna grab a towel that's sitting by the sink and run some warm water on it and just like put that on my head like a compress, like I'm okay, everything's okay, I don't know what happened, but I'm fine. And then I will grab myself a glass of water and drink it and just take a few minutes there to process whatever is happening.
Okay. You do so in relative quiet. There's still kind of that ambient noise you're hearing from the other side of the kitchen where the great room is. And as we shift back to Atticus stepping into the great room, At this point, there's quite a few less people, and you're easily able to kind of make your way across the front of the bar to where, along the wall, there is the painting of the ship.
Atticus remembers
Mhm.
that Ruby told him that there's only two places that she painted, and the first place was there, and the second place was the painting underneath.
Mhm.
So he's just gonna walk over and start like examining the trim and like see if he can find the painting.
Go ahead and roll me spot hidden.
Spot. It's going to
And if
be
I remember right,
a
you had a hard success when you painted to hide it, right? That side of hand. No, it was an extreme. I think you rolled very low, so I would
spot
say to
hidden.
find it, you're gonna need a hard success or lower.
50, 25 is half.
Mhm.
I got a 23.
It takes you a minute, and at first you kind of go past the section, and then you kind of come back, and yeah, painted on the underneath side of the framing, there is another yellow symbol.
It's a real good joke she can tell, I guess. All right, we can play this game. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let her have this one. And he's gonna look at it and like kind of remembers. Hopefully, it looks exactly like the other one.
Oh. Exactly the same.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I would think that most of his studies would be like he'd have like a favorite artist and notice, hey, artists always do the same, especially if it's something that they really care about. It's always going to look the exact same. Um, did I see her go into the kitchen?
Yes, she would have broken off from you as you had kept walking. This is all kind of happening simultaneously.
Yeah, I want to approach her in the kitchen. This is,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, easily enough. She stood by the sink, a compress on her forehead.
So,
Oh, Atticus. Hi.
you doing okay?
A little overwhelmed being here. It's my first time at an event like this, and there's so much going on. I don't really know how I'm supposed to act or where I'm supposed to go or what's happening in general.
That's fair. And this probably isn't my first time being here, but I wanted to ask you again about the painting that you rushed into the sink and just so happened to find. I believe that it's not you doing it. I just wanted to know, how did you know there was a second one?
What?
The second one, the one you said there was one under the portrait, the one under the painting that was.
What are you talking about? There's another one?
Yeah. If
Do you want to show it to me?
you
I
know
think if
what,
there's multiple of these, we have to let everyone know.
I agree. Yeah, we should. Yeah, let's get everybody together. Let's let everybody know that there's two of them, and we don't know who did it.
Weird.
Yeah.
How did you find it?
Intuition.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. You should definitely walk in front, just in case they'll spot you before they spot me. So like you should walk in front. Let's go find everybody else.
Cutting back to our other two. Did you stay in the bathroom or did you continue further down the hallway?
I feel like I'm just now exiting the bathroom.
Okay.
I'd probably be exiting the bathroom at the same time, just because I kind of searched over the room while Marianne was
Mhm.
looking at the symbol. I don't think Dan has fucking any idea what's going on right now. um, hasn't seen anything weird that he recognized as weird, at least.
Yep.
It's still working a case that he's not quite sure. So I guess I'm gonna try and find the composer at this point.
Okay. So yeah, everyone is now in the hallway.
Hey, reporter Ruby. There's a thing going on you might want to pay attention to. There's paintings. These paintings is like swirls, yellow swirls. There's one underneath the sink, and then there's another one on the painting that's back there. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't there whenever first looked at it, and now it's there now. Our friend here.
Isn't it wild that Atticus just found that?
Yeah, absolutely wild that I just randomly had that information.
So you're saying there's swirls in what was the painting of?
From what I remember, it's just swirls, yellow swirls. That's
It was just a painting of swirls?
yeah. I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but people's faces are bleeding and
But they
music
started
isn't
bleeding with the
working.
music.
Look, mysteries that randomly happen together usually have something to do with each other, which is why I try to put them together. If you think it has nothing to do, I mean, you're the one with the detective mindset. So what do you think?
I don't I don't quite know what to do with the information.
I gotta say, I saw the one under the sink, and it gave me the heebie-jeebies for a moment there.
There's a swirl under the sink. Why didn't anyone say anything?
You just said you were the worst. You are the worst reporter. I just said this.
Those
That's
two
what I
glass
said,
for
we're in the
gin
back
are
room.
catching up.
Oh, it just happened, Investigator Ruby. I slipped in the bathroom and I saw it under the sink.
This was when I was in the kitchen?
It was when you were interrogating the musician.
Oh, okay. I feel like I've somehow missed this information. Are you okay? Did you slip and hurt your head?
I hurt my knee a little bit, but I'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm starting to be a little bit more confused, and maybe I'm on the outside of myself. Not one of us refused to remember that she sprinted to the sink, fell to her knees, and look, we all saw that.
Yes, I slipped on my knee and I saw it and I was like, wow, wouldn't that be a funny joke? But you know what? I'm really sorry, everyone. It wasn't a funny joke. There's a lot going on tonight and someone really hurt themselves. And I shouldn't have joked about something like that.
I feel like it's not the right night to be making these kind of jokes. There's people
I
bleeding
know.
from the eyes and
I know.
such.
I was just trying to clean our friend up a little bit before she went back out to the party.
Okay, if one of you people decide one more time to act like we didn't see her run and baseball slide under that sink, we're gonna have problems. So I need one of you to come out and directly. Sorry. I need one of you to come out and directly say it, because obviously she's having an episode.
Sweetie,
I
are
just
you
wanna know.
okay? I'm just gonna go up to Ruby. Sweetie, are you okay? You need me to
I
get you
did.
the first aid kit for that knee of yours?
I gave
Uh,
myself a warm compress and I drank some water and I'm feeling a little bit better. Thank you.
Mr.
Oh.
Levy, you're seeing swirls and paintings and stuff, and you see Miss Celine kind of baseball sliding under a sink, which is very strange behavior. Are you sure you're okay?
You know what? I think I will be okay. And he's gonna walk over to the sink and grab a rag and wet the rag. I'm gonna look at Ruby and get on a knee and attempt to wipe off the painting.
Ooh. Ruby, go ahead and roll me. It's gonna have to be sanity. Just how well can you maintain your composure in this moment? Because he's about to wipe off something that you've painted.
Wow. Oh, no, I rolled the wrong dice. Sorry, 1 second. No, I rolled a d20, and I was like, "Wow, I really did well."
Nailed it first try.
Actually, I still did decent. My sanity's a 35, and I rolled a 31.
Nice.
There's that slight like impulse where you're like, no, but you catch yourself, and it's like gritting your teeth. Like you want to go stop him, but you also know it's okay. You've painted it elsewhere. You still have paint. It's fine.
I'm gonna go wipe off the one that's under the painting out there too, just in case. You know, if I'm seeing swirls, obviously I need to fix my. And Ruby, you don't know where these coming from, and you two can't recall 5 minutes ago. So I'm gonna be right back. Hopefully,
You're not gonna
happens.
damage this young lady's piece of art, are you?
What young lady's piece of art?
Miss
We don't know
Celine,
who did that
didn't-
painting out there.
Oh, I assumed it was Miss Celine being the artist here. I assumed the art was, of yours.
No, I hope you feel better after this.
I will.
Sir,
feel
would
great.
you like a cold compress? Are you feeling all right?
I'll feel better.
Maybe I shouldn't have given you so much champagne.
I feel like the giggle water might begin to, Mr. Levi.
I know. Nope. This is what I was warned about. I was warned that when you come up here to the north, people act crazy. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and I'll be right back. I'm going to go wipe off that painting with the swirls on it. See, now I'm sounding crazy. I'll be right back. And I would like to walk out towards the
Yeah,
painting.
go right ahead.
I'm gonna follow.
As you do, can you just roll me a luck check?
Thanks for the hydrate.
Oh, God.
What?
So your luck will be right above your sanity. I believe yours is 40.
I got a 13.
Dang.
Okay. That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
I'm about to die. So I walk. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the painting and do the same thing. Same wet towel. I'm going to wipe under.
Okay.
I'm following him.
All right.
I'll stay upstairs.
You're downstairs. You're all still on the first floor. You are currently in the east wing. No one has gone upstairs yet, and no one has gone into the west wing.
Never mind.
No stairs yet. Yeah, you go to wipe it off. Roll me another luck roll.
Oh, well, hold on. Do I see this fucking swirl he's talking about?
Are you gonna go look? You can see where he's like getting down to like rub underneath. Are you gonna go take a look?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and look and see if I see a fucking swirl. It's also
Yeah,
it's also a boat on an ocean, right?
Yeah.
Oh, are you gonna
It's-
inspect the actual painting itself?
I'm just looking at the painting. It's he's saying the swirls. I'm assuming it's like waves.
Oh, in the painting?
Yeah.
No. Well, so as you look at the painting, because we'll start there since you are looking at the painting itself. It is a painting of a ship. It is an oil painting. You can see how the ship is listing to one side, the water threatening to overtake it. As you take a closer look at it, the scene almost shifts a little to where you can see that the waves are capsizing the ship and the faces of the people on the ship are frozen either in screams of terror or some sort of twisted laugh. And if you want to go ahead and make a sanity roll for me as you take a closer look at this painting.
Okay, give me 1 sec. Just showing the artwork to the viewers.
I got a 60.
All right, sanity.
On your luck? Okay, thank you. Yeah, and I'll take a sanity roll from you, please.
What's a 2?
I'm gonna.
Extreme success. You are able to kind of take a look at the painting and
Looks
it
normal to
doesn't
me.
affect you any. And I will say, as you're doing that and you kind of like realize there's nothing in the painting itself, and you see where he starts to adjust to the bottom of the frame and you kneel down and look, there is a symbol there. It's a set of kind of like 3 yellow swirls.
And it's painted in yellow?
Yes.
Okay.
The same yellow that was in the bathroom.
Didn't see that, though, so...
Yeah, before I wipe this, I'm gonna turn around and go, and like, is it just the two of us in the room?
Who went with you?
Yeah, there would be you and Dan.
Well, didn't Dan stay and look at the painting, but aren't you in the bathroom at the sink one?
He already wiped that one. It is the two ladies left in the bathroom. They have moved out to the painting. You, at this point in time, see Phyllis, the housekeeper, off on the other side of the room still, where you had last seen her, before heading back into the East Wing. There are just a couple of guests kind of milling about, talking amongst themselves. Otherwise, you do not see any of the quartet. You do not see Spencer. You do not see Clara or Gloria. She's moved as well. It is relatively calm in the Great Room at this time. From somewhere down further in the estate, you do hear a bell, a clock ringing that you've heard before as it strikes 9.
Mr. Ruby, you see this, right? You see this? The swirls, I'm not crazy?
It's on the frame?
Yeah, right under your...
I mean, this
right
makes a little bit more sense. I thought you were talking about the waves on this picture.
No, why would I come out here to wipe
I
off
don't know.
someone's-
It was very strange to me. I'm trying to understand this whole situation. You're talking about swirls in a picture.
Do you know why I'm wiping this off?
Speaking of which, Atticus, I know we've worked together in the past. Please, I'm undercover here. I need you to recognize that. I'm working a case.
I know exactly what you're doing. Sir, I'd just like to mess with you because...
I'm a professional. I don't appreciate it.
Well, professional detective, reporter, president, whatever you are right now, understand that we have things swirling up, and Miss Ruby talked about writing. She said she's the one who did this, and now out of nowhere, it's a joke, and she didn't do it.
But what does this have to do with my missing persons case?
Fair, I guess, but... Sir,
They're part of the artist class type of people. I don't really know what goes through their crazy minds.
she doesn't remember doing it.
They're artists. Who knows how their brains work? Probably doing too much of the devil's lettuce.
The devil's lettuce. If that makes you paint swirls and forget about it, she's doing too much of the wrong devil's lettuce. And he's just gonna reach down and wipe off the second marking, or the second painting.
You try to, and this one does not wipe away. It's almost as if the paint has soaked into the wood.
I would like to take out my blade and make a slash through it.
Are you trying to be stealthy about this? Because it is not just like a small blade. This is a sword cane. So it's not.
I don't trust forgetful people. So Atticus is just gonna take out the blade, and he's going to stand straight up and lower his arm and put his body up to it. So he's gonna be a bit stealthy about it. Because I mean the length of the blade is probably hip down. So he'll try to be stealthy about it.
Roll me a sleight of hand. Hard success needed.
That's not fair. I need to roll a 4.
How much luck points you got?
Yeah, burn that luck.
You won't need it.
No. What?
Yeah.
Between you two? No.
I'm helping.
One, no. I'm. Okay, so stealth. I got a 39. I'm not. I stabbed the painting pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, geez, Atticus. Fair enough. I didn't expect you as a curator of a museum to just damage art like this.
You don't even get as far as being able to cut through the symbol. You've drawn the blade and tried to like block it with your body. And from behind you across the room, you hear Phyllis call out, "Excuse me, sir!" And there's the sound of like heels on wood as she quickly makes her way over. Absolutely, weapons are not permitted. Put that away right now. What do you think you're doing?
Oh yeah, there's a thing underneath here. You maybe not have noticed it, so I'm just gonna do a nice little line underneath the bottom of it, and it'll get rid of all of
no. All these wonderful pieces of artwork were done by Miss Clara. I must insist that you do not touch any of them. They are painted exactly as she meant for them to be.
Okay, no, that makes perfect sense. Let me know if this would bother you. Let's just say somebody put a bunch of bad juju on this painting, some bad luck on this painting, and they went underneath here and made a marking that could equal something real sinister for the lady of the house. Would you want me to keep her safe by getting rid of it, or do you want me to go ahead and just leave it here and you know that something bad could possibly happen?
You mentioned the symbol, and as you are continuing to talk, she does kind of lean down and take a look at the underneath portion of the frame, and you do see her clock the symbol, and she kind of straightens up and straightens her outfit. No, everything seems perfectly fine. I see no reason that can't stay there. Now, if you would please put your weapon away. I have half a mind to confiscate the cane from you. However, I will not do so as long as I do not see the sword drawn on this premises again.
You won't see it drawn. Yeah, I got you. I'll put it away. I apologize. And just slides it back. Like, this whole place is trying to get us hemmed up. I'm not trying to do it. And it's just like walks back towards like actually I would like for him to walk towards the west side of
Okay.
Yes, west wing.
Cutting back, our two ladies. What are you up to?
You know, I didn't come all the way here just to stand in the bathroom all night. I think I'm gonna go socialize.
You're muted, Rima.
Yeah, I was like, mouse, please. I'm probably going to go to the kitchen and yeah, I'm assuming now that the party is kind of like moving that I'm gonna need to grab like a tray of like champagne or something to serve to whoever is left. So I'll go ahead and see if they have anything prepared that needs to be like brought out to the guests, and knowing what we know now, I will probably also be trying to on the sly look for the composer and like just walking around with the tray, but like looking for him, and if I do see him, I'll just drag the tray right over to him.
Okay, you both kind of exit back out of the east wing, and kind of like I said, you see Phyllis kind of in a huff walking back toward the mezzanine. You see our two gentlemen investigators, I would assume both heading toward the west wing. And at this point, pretty much everyone has dispersed now. The building itself is a lot quieter than when this all began. You would know that a lot of the quartet, as well as Clara and Gloria, have all gone upstairs to retire for a time before the second performance of the evening, and it is relatively quiet in the house.
I think as Ruby leaves the bathroom and looks around and sees how quiet it is, she's gonna take this moment to decide to walk up the staircase and check out upstairs. She hasn't been there yet, she hasn't seen it, and she doesn't want to be down here anymore because things are getting a little weird.
Okay. So we have one going upstairs, the two gentlemen heading to the West Wing. And where would you like to go, Marianne? There are not a lot of guests you carry champagne around to at this moment.
Where are the guests? Like, I know you said they're dispersed, but like, do I see the composer?
You do not in the Great Hall and not in any of the rooms you've been in the East Wing. If you wanted to take a look out front, you certainly could. You would know that there is an area back behind the house as well, some paths to walk. There's a pond back there, some like gardens. Otherwise, the assumption could be made that potentially they went upstairs, or could be in the West Wing. You haven't gone down that way yet.
I'll go to the West Wing.
Wonderful. So we see our camera view kind of split as the three of you head into the West Wing, and we catch just one last glance of Ruby Celine heading upstairs. For our three stepping into the West Wing, very similar to the East Wing, it is a kind of straight, narrow hallway. There are 3 doors leading off on the left-hand side. It's quiet, it's dimly lit as you enter in. It is kind of eerie how quiet the house has become after kind of the hum of the conversation to begin with, the music, and then kind of the activity after the performance abruptly ended. The house has gotten very quiet. I think is one thing, especially as you step into the West Wing, that you hadn't really like noticed yet. Most of the guests have left, and everyone else has kind of gone off to their separate points. Unlike the Great Room, as you kind of step in, the hallway is dusty, and there's kind of, you would be able to catch like faded footprints kind of interspersed in all directions as people have moved in and out of this area. And you kind of have the thought in the back of your head that for as large of a lodge as this is, you haven't really seen a ton of staff. You've seen Phyllis and the 2 bartenders that they brought in from the city to work this event, but otherwise you really haven't seen much of anyone else as far as staff lodge. Stepping down, like I said, you have 3 doors on your left. What would you like to do?
I want to check every door just to see if people are around, but I'm mostly looking for an instrument to play.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind as we go through. The first door you come to on the left, as you open it up, enters into a spacious wood-paneled room. You see it's lined with several sofas. There's a large round table in the center with a book kind of left open on it. You hear kind of this loud staccato ticking of a grandfather clock that you see up against one wall. And it's a little unsettling. This is the most noise you've heard since entering the West Wing. And you quickly remember, we have heard this clock going off at the top of each hour. And it kind of almost mirrors your heartbeat with the rhythmic ticking. And it kind of is, again, it's that like mildly unsettling feeling that you get when that is the only noise that you hear. If you want to go in and look around, you certainly can. The only thing at a first glance that you see is the book. No instruments.
I mean, as a man that likes to read and examine things, I'm definitely going to go for the book.
Okay.
I'm not going to touch it, but I would definitely look at it and
Hydrate from Maz. Thanks, Maz. As you step into the parlor, looking closer at the book, it appears to be a sketchbook. The first kind of page that it is open to, you see what looks like flowers. Sketch of a garden, maybe?
I would like to use my cane to turn the page.
You're just not going to touch anything the rest of this time, are you?
I'm not saying that. It's just that.
You begin to use your cane to try and flip through. You see a sketch of a statue in a garden. The sketch of the parlor that you're standing in. And you kind of continue to flip through, and the more homely images sort of begin to shift and divert into a different theme. It's darker, the pencil strokes are heavier, the images are slightly more ethereal. If you want to go ahead and roll me a spot hidden check.
Rolls are not on. I got a 22. That's half?
Hard success. You kind of taking a closer look, begin to pick out, kind of in the background of some of these sketches, a figure in a cloak that is kind of a reoccurring image that's seen. You see, kind of woven into some of the pencil strokes, different occult and arcane symbols, kind of hidden within the drawing itself. If you wanted to give an occult roll now, because you are who you are and have that kind of, we'll say, proficiency in occult. And then
Say 36. It's just out of a hard success.
okay. You kind of looking at it are able to piece together that these symbols are reminiscent of what was happening with the music notes. And something about them for you is oddly familiar to certain ancient manuscripts that most people would have no clue even exist. For Joe, if you wanted to, throw painting 2 up Clara's sketch.
Throw a painting up to Kara's sketch? What? What the hell did you just say to me?
If you wanted to put painting number 2, Clara's sketch, into the
Thank you.
stream. You were absent.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick the book up.
Okay. You do so.
Yeah, I'm gonna like flip to the front and back. I want to see like who is this like book been checked out? Is this book created by somebody? See if I can get a name.
You're flipping through, and the other 2, did you step in with Atticus, or did you continue for that on the hallway? Just so I have a frame of reference here.
Probably not.
Yeah, I'll probably step in with Atticus.
I'm probably like outside the door, kind of still in the hallway, maybe like heading towards the second door.
Okay. As you are heading towards that second door, you don't notice a figure kind of step behind you and into the room behind Dan and Atticus. And there is a clearing, as you're flipping through the sketchbook, there's a clearing of a throat. Oh, you found my sketchbook. I've been looking everywhere for that. And as you turn around, Clara Everett, your host for the evening, is stood there adjusting a set of glasses on her nose.
Is Clara the one that was in the kitchen chopping something up with a knife?
No, that was Phyllis.
Phyllis,
Phyllis, who you also saw again almost immediately after, back in the great room.
Okay. There's pictures everywhere.
Phyllis is a fast old lady. What
She's
can I
a good
say?
housekeeper. What do you
She's
get it.
spry.
Why she's been on staff for so long?
And you did say the symbols that were a part of it resembled the painting.
There's
Not
so
painting,
in
the,
her
notes.
sketches, some of the kind of arcane symbols kind of woven through some of the sketches are reminiscent of what you saw going on with the notes. There's a familiarity to them for you.
Miss Everett, this is your book. Like, closed it. Like, this is yours.
Yes, it's one of my sketchbooks.
These are great. There's a lot of interesting things in here.
Thank you. I kind of have been finding kind of my niche, if you will, and she'll kind of hold her hand out for the book from you.
I'm just gonna like open it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just gonna open it again and like try to memorize like the symbols that I saw on the page it was whenever it was open.
Okay.
That it was close to.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll close it after I do that. I'll close it and just be like, yeah, this is great, and pass it over.
You. She'll kind of like tuck it into her arm. Was there anything I could help you all with? Were you just looking for a quieter space to have a moment, or I could have Phyllis bring some tea if you'd like.
I'm perfectly fine, ma'am. Thank you so much. How about you, Reporter Ruby?
Actually, I was wondering if I could have a minute to chat with the composer to kind of get a statement for the article that I'm writing.
Oh, that's right. That is why you're here this evening, isn't it? And she kind of like seems to be like we're trying to recall something in her head and just like can't quite latch onto it. Well, I know that he was going to head up and kind of set up for this evening's second performance, of course. I'm so glad to see you all decided to stick around. It is lovely to have, of course, our guests and a reporter to cover it. I do think the best time to catch Spencer would be after the performance. Although I suppose you could certainly go up and try to see.
A quick question, Phyllis. Is eye bleeding a typical part of your performances?
Oh, that poor thing. You know, we were having a conversation the other day, and someone mentioned that maybe she had been taking something on the side. And of course, poor Mr. Spencer is going to have to replace yet another violinist. It's quite unfortunate.
What happened to the first violinist?
Oh, you know, I think the pressure just got to her and she left. We're not quite sure. She just stopped showing up to practice, so Mr. Spencer replaced her. And of course, Evelyn is just so talented, but like I said, I think it's too much for her to handle as well. It was unfortunate this evening what happened.
How long did that replacement take? I feel like that would take you some time to find someone to cover up a important position like that.
Oh, no, not. I mean, the quartet itself is quite famous, as is Mr. Spencer's works. There's nothing too abnormal there. People would be jumping at the bit to perform such an established group.
So why did the first violinist, were they showing signs of stress? I don't understand why they would suddenly leave.
I merely am the patron of the group. I help cover expenses and get them into places for performances and make sure the right people are coming, of course. But I don't have anything to do with the day-to-day business.
Well, as the patron then, was there a incident that happened at their last performance? I feel like this is an interesting, I was interested because it seems like why would someone, such a prestigious group, why would someone decide to leave? Even if it was, as you say, stress.
I certainly couldn't tell you. That's outside of my purview.
But did anything interesting happen on their last day?
I'm not even entirely sure when their last day was.
Do I hear this? Do I hear all of this?
I would say you do hear, because it is quiet in this hallway. You're like about to open that second door and you hear the conversation happening.
Because I'm going to turn around and head my ass back upstairs. I'm literally going to go upstairs as soon as she says he's up there. Carry on.
Okay.
Murder.
That's who I was looking for.
Okay.
Is this? Can I tell if she's lying to me at all through all this? Because
Oh,
she's
please go
giving
ahead and roll
lies.
me either psychology or
So-
psychoanalyze.
I'm so not good at this for an investigator.
Love
Can
that
I
line,
help
by the way.
since
The
I-
pressure got to her.
Can I help since I'm listening to her lies also?
You can roll your own check, yes. Because this is based on, it's not so much like D&D where you can help with an insight check. It very much is like, what are you able to pick up on and notice?
So you said psychoanalyzer. What else?
Or psychology. They're right next to each other.
I'm gonna go with psychology because it's the only way I'm gonna make it. I rolled a 3.
Your dice and I are gonna have a problem tonight.
Hey, to balance that out, I got an 83.
God.
Okay. So unfortunate that 83. She's just talking. There doesn't seem anything inherently off with what she's saying. Atticus, with an extreme success, it's not like a straight lie. She is 100% being deceptive. But what she's saying isn't necessarily a lie. It's kind of like you can word the truth a specific way to fit what you need it to. She's 100% omitting things. She does know more than she's saying. But she's very intent on what she is telling you. Not to the point that maybe she believes it herself, but like, this is the truth she has decided on.
I need to let you know that when it's time for me to die, that's when my dice are gonna start rolling 99s and 100s.
Oh,
over and
please,
over again.
please roll a critical failure, please. It'll be so fun.
It'll happen one time. But as that's happening, I'm just gonna walk up next, next to reporter Ruby. Maybe it's just I've been around people who like to mix the truth with lies and all types of crazy stuff like that. Would you mind giving us just the truth straight out, not just how you feel, but what the exact truth as it is?
Roll a persuade.
You're doing this to me, Umber.
Hard success.
I need to roll 4 or 5.
You did just roll that low. You can do it again.
Already an 80 exactly.
I certainly don't know what you mean. Everything I've said is truthful.
Mm-hmm.
She left. We replaced her as any other responsible group would do. Like I said, Evelyn is extremely talented. There's just concerns that, much like her predecessor, she's just not capable of doing what she's needed to.
What exactly is she needs to do?
Play her part. Play it correctly, of course.
When she says play her part, do I notice anything in that?
I would say for both of you, because you are like intently like paying attention to this conversation. It's one of those things where you can tell someone has like a weird double meaning to what they say. You don't know what the double meaning is. It's one of those phrases where she says it in the way she says it, the intonation, you're like, okay, yeah, it sounds exactly like what it sounds like. But it also, she's meaning it to be something else. It's one of those where you know that they're doing it that way on purpose.
Mm.
Well, you consider.
No, I'm
We're
gonna
gonna
do
pop-
something crazy. We'll get back to that though.
We're gonna pop upstairs where Ruby Celine has exited into the second floor landing. Yeah. You're kind of in the mezzanine floor that overlooks the great room. and you have a door to your left and your right. There's the east and the west wing on the second floor.
I spent a lot of time in the east wing downstairs. Let's check out the west wing up here.
Okay. Stepping through to the west wing. Okay. Sorry, I'm just grabbing the correct portion of the house here. The west wing, very similarly, is a clean hallway. It is well lit. There are 3 doors to your left as you exit into, or you enter into the west wing. Which room are we going to first?
Is there any art in the hallway of the west wing?
In the hallway itself, no. It is relatively barren. There are a couple smaller, like the thin tables, and like some of them have like a flower vase or like some candles, just like smaller decorations. There is nothing hanging on the walls. There are windows looking out into the back portion of the property, but otherwise there is no artwork in the hallway.
I guess right now I'm just, trying to clear my head and wander. So I'm just gonna take the first door that comes up.
You grasp onto the door handle and try it, and this particular door is locked.
Guess I'm not supposed to go in there. I'm just gonna keep wandering and try the next one.
The next 2, or the second one, is unlocked. As you step in, it is looks to be a guest bedroom. Simple white paneling, embroidered curtains, kind of like very nice bedspreads. There are iron bed frames. This particular bedroom, there are 2 beds and a singular dresser in the center. And you do see that there's there's 2 on either side of the beds. There are 2 like pine wardrobes. There in this first room there is a painting of a painting of a fire up against one of the walls.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Okay. And that would be painting number 5, Joe, fire. This small painting is of a fire. You see thick black strokes of paint against, kind of contrasting against the scarlet of flames. You're familiar with artwork. You recognize the heavy brush strokes, almost done with a sense of like violence or agitation. You see, kind of hidden in the flames, almost smudged in yellow paint. It looks to be almost like a woman dressed in yellow. It's almost as if you're seeing like the back profile of her within the flames. If you want to take a closer look, you can roll me either occult or art, which I believe you have painting.
Yeah, I will take a closer look. I'm just gonna walk up and I'm going to like gently lay my finger against it and trace it down, and I'm going to roll a
Art or occult?
Okay, I rolled a 56, which is my regular 75, so it's within that one,
Okay.
but not the half one.
Perfect. So just a standard success.
Yeah.
As you kind of trail your fingers down and kind of step closer to this painting, you can hear the faint crackle of wood as it burns. The crackle of an open flame. And the painting itself almost feels hot to the touch. And you can kind of see the flames moving before your eyes. If you would go ahead and roll me a sanity roll real quick. You're the best person to be up here currently in this moment alone.
So I rolled a 66.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a d10, please.
Sorry.
No, this is great. No worries.
I rolled a 5.
Okay. If you would take 6 away from your sanity, I'm so sorry. I rolled the highest I possibly could on that for you. And you rolled a 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Please hold for just one moment, as I made sure to have you all send me things. You are standing there, kind of entranced in the movement of these flames and feeling the warmth on your fingertips. And the sound of the crackling wood becomes louder. And the air around you almost feels hot, heavy, and it becomes hard to breathe as if you're inhaling smoke. And you step back, and around you, the room is engulfed in flames.
No,
You see
no.
the curtains, the bed, fully engulfed, flames across the door that you entered through. You are going to flee in panic as this overwhelming fear. This room is on fire. You are in danger. You cannot possibly stay here. You need to get help. You need to find one of the others. If you stay here, you are going to die. You are going to flee in panic.
I am running out of the room. I'm screaming, no, fire! Everybody out! Fire! I'm just gonna run back down the stairs as fast as I can.
She passes me, right? She passes
Cresting-
me?
Stepping off the top step onto the mezzanine as you burst through the doorway in the hallway is Marianne Wilkins, and you almost run straight into her.
I grab her wrist, I pull her, I'm running as fast as I can. There's a fire upstairs, we have to get out, everybody out! Everybody out, let's go!
Well, you almost knocked me ass over apple cart, you did. I would like to know where this fire is immediately.
Go! Were there fire extinguishers in the 1920s?
So
No?
yes, there were. It was water and it was water, baking soda, and you would flip it upside down, and it would dump the baking soda into the water, and it would.
There you go.
My father was a firefighter, so.
I was like,
Go get some water from the kitchen first, but I'm getting out of here.
okay.
I don't feel inclined to stop her. That would be kind of rude. It's like, okay, you think there's
So
a fire. Stay right here.
Your only thought is to flee, and you continue down the stairs, leaving Marianne, as they're not really inclined to follow, and straight out the front door.
Do can I just check and see if there's like smoke or something? Or if I smell smoke or
Yeah, you can kind of stepping up. Are you going into the entryway into the West Wing?
yeah.
You can roll me a listen. You can roll me a spot hidden.
I'm about the same with both.
Okay.
I'll just do a listen. I feel like I listen to everybody while I'm serving them drinks. That's as a 52.
A little high. You don't hear anything, but you hear her footsteps as she's running across the Great Hall. That's the only sound that's greeting your ears right now. You can continue further down the hallway to inspect if you want.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
Okay, so you're moving down the hallway. Ruby, you burst through the front doors of the lodge and out into the cool night air. And it is kind of that moment of like you can breathe a little bit. And you run a good decent portion past the vehicles before you start to slowly come back to yourself. And you look back at the lodge, and there is no flames in that window. You see the silhouette of a person one room over standing in the window looking out at you. Not the room you were in, but the room you had not yet gotten to. The room you were in, there's just the faint light coming through of the regular lights. There are no flames. There is no smoke. And you are outside.
I think I'll stay out here for a minute and gather myself.
A couple things. I will say, if you want to just roll me a spot hidden or a listen, either one.
Okay. Let's roll first. What was the second? Listen.
Yep, spot hidden or listen.
Okay. I rolled a 27, so I'm going to go with spot hidden, so that's like a regular success.
You kind of are starting to walk back, and you see the vehicle you arrived in. All 4 tires are slashed. You look at the next vehicle. All of those tires are slashed as well, and the next, and the next. Not a single car left parked in front of the lodge has tires that are not slashed. And you kind of stand up and look around, and you do see off through the fog. Again, it is a cooler fall evening. The fog has rolled in from the trees. You do see off past the lodge down the pathway you had run, the shed, the pond, and you see what looks to be someone walking through the mist toward the water, away from the cars, away from the lodge.
I am overwhelmed. I don't know what is happening anymore. Was there a fire? Are these tires slashed? I think I'm going to go back inside and ignore that I thought I saw someone looking at me from the window, and I thought I saw someone else walking towards the lake, because I don't know what I'm seeing. I'm gonna go back inside and get myself another glass of champagne.
Okay. Perfect. You begin to walk back in. We cut back upstairs. Marianne, you've walked down the hallway. There is no smoke. There is no fire. You see the first door is closed. The third door is closed. The doorway for the second room is open, and the room is empty.
All right. I mean, I kind of can see from out there that it's empty. Since I'm looking for the composer, I'll try the first door.
The first door is locked as you try the handle.
I'm gonna use locksmith. I'm gonna try. I'll try to use locksmith.
Okay, please.
$37. That is a pass.
Okay. Stepping in, you do see a very similar layout, kind of white walls, pine wood, an iron bed frame. A singular bed in this room, however. You see an armoire in the corner that is open, filled with freshly pressed suits and shirts. There is a desk by the window. A large rug covers most of the floor. And you step in, and for a moment, it looks almost as if the pattern in the rug is shifting. And you blink, and it's not. It's just a pattern. But it's almost that feeling when you're on the edge of getting a headache. And you kind of shake yourself out and step in to take a look around. You see the four-poster, the iron bed frame, emerald bedspread, which kind of contrasts with the softer tones of the walls. Yeah, that is what you see before you. You can, with pretty good certainty looking at like the suits and what's strewn about the room. This is Mr. Spencer's room, the composer's room. He's not currently in here. You could certainly take a look if you would like to.
Yeah, and since I'm kind of familiar with the estate, would I know if that rug is like new or something?
I wouldn't things like that. I would say you're not familiar with this estate enough. I would say more than likely you've never been upstairs. You would have worked events. You would have been here just for the events downstairs.
All right, then. Do I know enough to figure out that this is probably Mr. Spencer's room?
Yes, yep. You would recognize again. There's I would say there's probably music across the table, like the desk by the window. You see the suits that are in the cabinet or the armoire. You're pretty certain that this is Spencer's room.
Okay, then I'm gonna, because I'm already kind of suspicious of him a little bit, I'm gonna close the door behind me really quietly so that no one sees that I'm in here from like the hallway. And I'm just gonna start snooping through all his shit.
Okay, so you're gonna start snooping.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna cut back downstairs for our two gentlemen with Miss Clara. Joe, you had a crazy idea. Lay it on me.
So I'm gonna just kind of walk behind her and just shut the door over.
Okay.
Where's her attention right now?
She adjusts her positioning in the room to where she can keep both of you in her line of sight.
What was her name again? I'm sorry.
Clara Everett. This is your host for the evening.
Clara. All right. So, Miss Clara. Miss Everett? I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I get the names right.
Oh, either's perfectly fine.
So I have a friend of mine who really has a lot of issues being lied to, and it seems like you've been lying to us a little bit this evening. My friend's name is Antonio, and he gets real angry when people lie to him. And I'm gonna pull out the 38 special and just
You're going to draw your gun. Okay. On my list of potentials for this evening, this was actually not one of them. Not yet, anyways. She maintains composure. Is there a particular reason you think you need to draw a weapon, sir?
So you see, Dollface, I'm here looking for somebody, and I feel like you may have an idea as to where I can find them.
I haven't the slightest clue how to help you. Now, you are going to put that weapon away and you are going to leave the premises. Or I'm going to scream.
Man.
Is there a pillow or anything around?
Yes, there would be pillows on any number of the sofas. You would have to step away from the door to go grab a pillow.
Where's her book?
It's in her hand.
Can I grab
Kinda,
it? Can I take it from her?
It's kind of tucked, like... I don't have a book to show you. This is close enough. It's like tucked into... Oh, so loud. It's tucked into her arm.
Can I try and take that from her? Just casually. You mind if I see some of that art? I feel like my accent's changed here.
It has. You're no longer the reporter. You're back to being the PI, and it's a little funny. Okay, so I'm gonna say at this moment, this is turning into what we're gonna consider a conflict. If you want to approach her to try and grab the book, I will have you roll brawl. She is going to try to dodge and maneuver past you to get to the door.
Right. I roll an 83, I feel like, so many times this game. Like, specifically 83.
Weird.
You move towards her, and she, with ease, sidesteps you, moves past you, and grabs onto the door, throwing the door open.
Can I intervene and grab her and pull her back into the room?
Yes. It'll be a brawl from you as well to try to grab her. And she's not gonna dodge, she's going to fight back on this one. She's gonna swing at you with the book.
The boy got hands. That's a 6.
Jesus Christ!
Here's... Okay. So...
She rolled a 1.
No, well, because we're doing two different things. She's not trying to dodge you grab her. You do grab her. You grab her arm. However, with the other arm, as you've now grabbed her, book in hand, she swings, and as you are using your action to grab and not dodge, she is going to, across your head, smack you with this book. You're gonna take 1 point of damage as this book cocks you across the face. And you do have her. She's in the threshold of this doorway.
I am going to immediately, it's called de-knocking, when you push the cane down and unsheath it, and I'm going to put it to her back. Ma'am, I really am sorry about this. I'm normally a gentleman, but see, that man back there has a revolver, and I don't know who he's gonna aim it at if you get out of the... So I just need you to come back in, because I know what's gonna happen if I have to use this. Do you?
While this is happening, can I grab the pillow? Well, no, he's got her. I'm gonna go grab a pillow real quick and just bring it over.
Are we putting her to sleep? What you
No,
need?
I'm gonna put it up to the gun so it's not as loud when I fucking shoot her in the face.
Don't shoot the sir. This is Atticus, okay? Atticus is like, hey, look,
What is happening?
If you shoot this lady, and I'm
gonna shoot her in the knee.
sir.
Relax, Atticus.
What?
Do you know who's in the room with you? If you shoot this lady, who's gonna go to jail? Why are you doing this?
I'm glad you said it and not me. I feel like it'd be really awkward if I said it.
Well, I mean, because only one of us in here is allowed to have a revolver and be okay with it. Sir?
Listen, Atticus, we've had this conversation before. I'll shoot the white lady. You don't gotta worry about it.
When did we have this conversation? I never had this conversation.
While this conversation is happening, she is going to try and pull her arm
I
from
have a
you.
gun pointed at her.
This conversation.
Don't care.
No. You two are so invested in whatever this conversation is. She's going to try and pull free. At the same time, a couple things happen. The clock behind you strikes 10. It is loud in this room when that goes. You also, for anyone who's not currently in this room, you'll begin to hear it once the clock dies down. From somewhere in the East Wing, you hear music playing. So I suppose at this point, the only one who is going to hear it in this moment is going to be Miss Marianne Wilkins. You can roll me a sanity check. As
Okay.
the notes of a recording of a performance that happened earlier begins to play. The two of you
When that alarm clock is dinging, I am shooting her in the fucking knee. I'm getting mad that this old bitch is fucking trying to run away with a goddamn book when I have a fucking 38 special pointed at her.
What's that sanity?
She brought this on herself.
How bad is it?
It's a 93.
Beautiful, beautiful. You're gonna take 4 points of psychic damage.
Okay. So I'm... You got it.
Insane.
I just changed my current sanity.
Just your current, yes.
Okay.
That'll be lower, and then you're always rolling at or below what your current sanity is when I ask for a sanity roll.
Okay.
You... Mhm. You've closed this door, and in the corner of your eyes, this music lilts through your ears. You see movement, and you turn quickly. And it almost looks like one of your siblings has, like, darted from the armoire under the bed. Like they're hiding.
Oh.
And you hear just the faintest giggle as they're hiding from you.
Okay. Just... Hello? Madeline Grace? Is that you?
No answer, just laughter.
Suzanne, if that's you, well, I'm gonna tell on you to Mom and Dad.
He just giggles from under the bed. As if they're playing a game.
We'll go and look under the bed.
You get down on hands and knees and look under the bed, kind of pulling the comforter up and out of the way. And all you feel is a hand grab onto yours and pull you under the bed. And then there is blackness. For the time being, you are incapacitated. And we'll come back to you in a little bit. The clock strikes 10. The music has played. You can roll to hit. It will be... You will need a hard success for this because she is moving and there is a lot going on. You can roll. You're shooting. I'm just gonna. I'm assuming, Atticus, you're not just going to let go when she tries to pull from your hands.
No.
Okay.
If this is an 83 again, I'm changing these fucking dice. Because I've gotten 2 83s tonight. So I got a 48.
Okay.
My success is 40. My hard success is 20. You
Yes.
said I need a hard success?
For this, if you're gonna hit her, especially with a called shot, you wanted to go for a knee.
All right. And
Yeah.
then I'm going to spend the points.
You're gonna spend your luck?
Yeah. I got 75 of it.
Yeah, spend 28. Please do.
Definitely happening right now.
Okay. If you would roll strength, Atticus, which will be, roll, yep, your first characteristic on the top is strength. This is just contested for her to pull free as she's being shot.
This old bitch.
What did you roll?
So
58.
58.
Okay. You are able to keep a hold of her. You, being in the room, hear the even with the pillow, you hear the sound of the gun go off. As you are in close proximity. And you kind of end up being what is holding her up, kind of just holding her arm as she drops as a bullet hits her leg.
We'll control you, Booch.
Well, you didn't just shoot this woman right next to me. I'm holding her. What if you would have shot me?
Have you ever seen someone get shot before, Atticus?
Player? Like, or
Oh, come on, IRL?
No, in character.
in character. Oh, okay, yeah. In character, I would say yes. He's from Louisiana, like southern Louisiana, probably.
Okay. I will not make you roll sanity for this, as blood splatters out from behind as this bullet
Yeah.
goes through her leg.
He just like helps her up a little bit and like walks
She's
her back
like,
into...
she's just dead weight. She is sobbing. She is a mess.
Oh, okay. Then if it's like that, then I'm gonna like get her up, like hold her
Okay.
like upwards, and be like, and I got all this blood on my shirt. You know how expensive it's gonna be to get this out?
I'll pay for you. Your drug
Oh,
in
okay.
there.
Okay, no, you got big money. I'm not worried about you.
Yeah, I mean,
All
you're
right,
helping me in
I'm
the
just gonna-
investigation now, Atticus. Come on, let's go. Throw her on the couch.
What?
You're helping in the investigation now, Atticus. Throw her on the couch.
You know what, ma'am? I do apologize for everything that's about to happen in your busted knee. Hopefully that gets healed up, and I'm just gonna put her down on the couch and just like back away.
She's just sobbing.
Gonna go
Incoherent.
close the door
Okay.
and stay at the door
Okay.
just in case.
At this point, I'm
Are there any
grabbing-
more pillows in the room that I can like hide from him?
Yes, there are pillows in the room.
And I'm gonna grab all the pillows and put them near the door, and just be like, "No more shooting of any kind." She's talk to her, I guess.
At this point, the clock has stopped ringing, and over the sound of her cries, you both hear the music playing through the lodge. If you both would roll me sanity checks as this begins to play. Ruby, entering back in the front door, you hear this as well. If you could also roll me a sanity check.
I got a 51, which is right under my current.
Okay.
20. So I am good.
Boring. Oh, Ruby. Oh no, you're muted.
You're muted. Kaz, you're muted.
Nope. Maybe.
No, am I?
Oh, there it goes. Okay, we got you now. You're good.
I rolled a 26, which is like so close, and yet not what I needed.
I forget your poor sanity is taking a beating.
Yeah, my current is a 22. I rolled a 26.
You hear this music, and in contrast to earlier this evening, where it was kind of unsettling, disquieting for you to listen to, it's almost pleasant in the back of your mind. Comforting in an odd sense. You are going to take another 2 sanity for your loss. And you are kind of finding yourself, almost again, that voice hidden in the music, whispering in the back of your head, telling you to go upstairs to the attic.
Oh.
And that's what you want to do.
I enter back into the house, and I hear music again, and this time it is comforting to me. And suddenly, I am no longer burning, and there is no more fog in front of my eyes, and very clearly, I just want to explore the house some more, and I thought I saw an attic door last time I went up the steps, and maybe that'll be a nice quiet place for me to just escape everything that's happened over the last couple of hours.
And you head up there.
Have you decided what to do with me yet?
I honestly, I found who I'm going to use in place, so this is perfectly fine. Please entertain Clara as long as you will. We cut back to both of you. The music is unsettling, and you're not entirely sure where it is coming from. And for Atticus, you're like, okay, we know that these notes kill.
I'm immediately just gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna guess you have this under control, and toss him a pillow, and like, just in case you need some reassurance. And
For the last
I'm going
time.
to
For the last gunshot.
for the last one. You know what? Hey, how about this? In our story straight, I walked by, and then whatever happened, and this happened for me helping her on the couch.
I got you, Mr. Levy.
Word, I didn't see you.
Nope.
You didn't see me.
Never. Not once.
Yep. I'm gonna go figure out what this is, and I'll come back for the not seeing. And I'm gonna like walk, like open the door, and like try to go to the music.
Okay. As the door closes behind him, speaking of not seeing, I'm gonna pull out my Luger.
Okay. You pull out your second gun.
I'm just gonna kind of tuck it up against her chin. So, now, why don't we stop lying to each other and you tell me the information I want to know? No, we're not gonna cry. Otherwise, I'm gonna hit you.
She's just sobbing. She is
I just
sobbing.
fucking pistol whip this shit out of her at this point.
You do, and her head cracks almost unnaturally too far to the side before she re-cracks it back, and the tears are still streaming down her face.
So here's how it's gonna go, sweetheart. I got this gun from killing Krauts in Europe, so I'm gonna need you to do me a favor here. I'm gonna need you to not cry, otherwise I'm gonna crack you again, and then we'll keep doing that until you compose yourself. Now, why don't you tell me what I want to know, so we can keep doing this?
Can you roll me a dodge, please?
She's gonna kick me in my balls?
Oh no.
All right. I get a 33, so I need to spend 3 luck points to get a 30.
If you want to spend them, you can. I will be nice as your keeper and tell you that with what she rolled, that still won't be enough.
Okay. So I get kicked in the balls.
You don't get kicked. However, as you've stepped closer to pistol whip her and her head's cracked back forward, tears now silently streaming, kind of a grin on her face. You feel as
The old bitch.
five digits right underneath the edge of your rib cage. Sorry, 4, not the thumb, but the 4 fingers. Right up underneath your rib cage as they dig into your flesh. You will take 3 points of damage. And I guess we actually did not have you roll for the gunshot how much damage you did. If you could roll that, and as well as your brawl damage for the pistol whip, just so I have an idea of how our host is looking.
So 3 damage for the shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna roll a d3. So I'm gonna roll a d6. And that is a 6, so 3 damage. Plus damage bonus, which is a d4. Which is 1, so 4 damage total. My punch did more damage than a gunshot. That makes sense.
Hey, it's just like D&D.
Yep, that tracks.
Win some, you lose some. Okay. This confrontation is happening. We shift back to Atticus. You've stepped into the hallway and back into the great room. The music that you currently are hearing is coming from the East Wing, where you were before. Are you
That's nice.
Heading that way?
So I'm gonna go up on the stage.
Okay, yeah, you step onto the little stage that they had set up in this kind of the front center of the great room.
Are there any instruments up there?
No, all of the instruments had been collected by their players.
I guess I will be making my way down the east wing.
Making my way.
I think as you make your way, Joe, I think this might be a good moment to take a quick break,
Yeah.
and we will join back shortly to find out exactly if and how we figure out what actually is going on.
We'll be back in a minute.
We join back in with our investigators following Atticus as they make their way across the Great Room and into the hallway of the East Wing. The music is louder as you continue further down this hallway. The first two doors are open still. The third door, the door at the very end of the hallway, the one that no one bothered to look into, is slightly ajar. And you hear this piece being played out, echoing down the hallway. It's louder the closer you get to the room.
Does it sound like a recording? Because you know recordings can have like that skip or tear kind of sound away, or does it sound like somebody actually playing?
Roll me a listen as you make your way down the hallway.
I don't do that. That is it's a 19, and listen is it? Yes. Listen's a 20. So it's a success.
It is. That is a standard success. It sounds like when a record is being played on like a gramophone. Phonograph. I think the same thing. I don't know. Who knows? But it's like a record being played on a phonograph. It has that kind of echoing quality to it, and again that crackle of the vinyl as it spins.
Okay.
It is loud, and you're kind of starting to get that same uncomfortable feeling you had the first time you listened to it live. It's not as bad, but it's definitely there.
I want to take the sheet out and look at it to see if anything's happening while the music is playing.
You pull this sheet of music out, and see, it's kind of like a few sheets like put together, so you're able to like flip through, and you kind of do, and you find where the notes seem to match up with what you're hearing being played. And it is almost like the notes shift ever so slightly on the page as you hear them being played. Ever so slight.
Okay. Go ahead and put it back, and I want to like peek in. I don't want to like push the door open. You
kind of step up to where it's cracked, and you could see, I would say probably like half of the room from your vantage point. You see that the walls are paneled with a darker wood similar to the rest of the lodge. The walls themselves are kind of adorned with looks to be several hunting trophies. You see a chandelier overhead, fully lit. The room is well lit. A dark, heavy wood table. You can see 4 chairs from your vantage point. You see a sideboard with crockery and such in the cabinets. And you can just make out the corner of like a table against the back wall. You don't see the phonograph, but you don't see anyone in the room either.
Okay, I'm gonna open the door with the cane and look, like fully look at the room.
The room itself is empty. The table before you seats 8. And like I said, there are all manner of creature taxidermied across the walls, kind of a grim reminder of what exists in these woods outside of this property. You step in and you do see the phonograph playing, and in here The symphony is loud. And you kind of step in. And hanging overhead, there is a painting. A painting that is eerily familiar to a sketch you were just looking at in a book in the parlor. It appears to be a sketch of a woman. It is a large oil piece. The color itself is rich and vivid. It depicts a woman walking through some sort of ruined landscape. You see her back is presented to you, the viewer. You only see her silhouette. Her cloak is multiple hues of yellow that almost seem to shift and move before your eyes, as if she is walking away from you. She has what appears to be dark hair kind of wildly blowing down her back. And you find yourself almost, without realizing, stepping further into the room. Looking closer at this painting, the symphony playing behind and just filling your senses. You don't hear the door swing closed and click shut behind you. You step closer to the painting, and it's almost as if the details are metamorphosizing before you. They're shifting, they're changing. What you thought was a landscape becomes twisted bodies, bloated corpses strewn across the ground. You see one where the woman's hand should be. Instead, there are bird-like talons kind of sticking out. You see what looks to be almost tentacles flowing out from underneath the bottom of her cloak. If you could go ahead and roll me a sanity check. And I will have you roll it twice, and you will take the higher number. As the music... Nope, go ahead.
First one's a 54, and the second one is... $21.
Lucky. It... The sound of the symphony is almost overwhelming. And again, this painting before you is so... It's morbid. It is grotesque. It is not what it should be. And you kind of like shake yourself out of it. There's a moment where you feel almost so drawn into it. And there's that faint whisper at the back of your head. But you can't quite make out what the words are saying. And you kind of come back to your senses, you being familiar with the occult. You see as the music plays within the swirls of the painting, there are notes. Hidden within, there are occult symbols. And there's almost the shifting yellow swirls in her cloak. A familiar moniker of someone that you know, and in your head you know, we need to stop this music. Whatever this music that is playing is feeding into what is ever going on with these paintings. What would you like to do?
I'm going to use my cane to just push over the music playing. Wow, you said it's
a phonograph, so it's like a big square base where the record goes on, and then it has one of like the metal horns that the music is playing out of.
Oh, okay, so that's like on a table, right?
Yeah, it's right on this, like, yeah, it's just sitting on its own like little table stand.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my eyes on the painting and just push it off.
You push it off, and it falls to the ground with a large crash. The music cuts off. It does not stop. The room's gotten quieter. The music that was playing from this phonograph is no longer playing. The painting, for now, has stilled. But you do hear lilting notes from somewhere higher up in the house. Being played, keeping pace to where the record was. You've stopped this music. You've stopped whatever was happening down here for the moment. but there is still something happening upstairs. Would you like to spend your luck?
I would need to spend 28. I have 40. No, because I'm gonna die. So no, I guess I'm just not that well versed with music.
You stand there for a few minutes. You're gonna lose some time here as you contemplate making the connection of, yeah, I stopped this music from playing. The painting mostly stopped doing weird things. And it will take you a little while, but you do know intrinsically, like, you need to stop whatever this music is. It was bad before, just the record playing was bad. You don't know what it's gonna do. You don't know how to stop it. You don't know some other things. All you know is you want to stop the music.
I'm gonna take out my blade and cut across again into the painting, and then I'm gonna head off to where the music is playing.
Okay. You start making your way out into the great room, up the stairs to the mezzanine. We're gonna cut back to Dan, currently stood over Clara, her hands embedded in your ribcage. At this moment, you still hear the music playing. What we, the viewers, see and you don't see as we are looking from behind Clara, seeing her hand under your ribcage. Over your shoulder, on the wall that no one had, as of yet, really bothered to take too close of a look at, is another painting. This particular canvas is hued, almost a sickly green, and this would be painting 3, the city. You see a rocky city beneath the earth, kind of like far in the distance. You see buildings constructed into craggy stone, the ground appearing almost slimy with water, and it almost looks like the water itself is beginning to run down and out the edges of the painting, like teardrops. You see, again, not you, but us as viewers, watch as a figure shifts in one of the doorways of this dwelling. A dark silhouette pokes a head out and begins to walk from this building, closer and closer in point of view to the facade of the painting itself. And while you're preparing to do whatever action you're going to do against Clara next, we see fingers curl out the edge of the frame as a body begins to fall. Behind you, with the sounds of the music, the clicking of the ticking of the clock. We got there. You hear the sound of water droplets hitting the ground, as if something is dripping behind you. In front of you, again, hands still buried underneath your ribcage, is Clara, grinning up at you, blood dripping down the side of her face. You have an action. What would you like to do?
So I've got an old lady with her fingers dug into my chest.
Yes.
And I've got someone coming up behind me.
You don't know there's someone behind you, but yes. You just hear the dripping of water, the sounds of the music, and the ticking of the clock.
And this old lady hasn't answered a single question I've asked her.
No, she's answered. You just don't like her answers. There's a difference.
I don't know what to do anymore.
Why don't...
I'm lost.
Hey, you chose this path, and here we are. If you're unsure of what you mean, you could pull her hand out of you. You could hit her again to try and get her to pull it out. If you think the dripping sounds of water behind you would be enough to garner your attention, you can certainly turn over your shoulder and look.
the fingers inside me, like it's pure skin and it's inside my abdomen.
You felt almost like taloned fingers. Knife-like almost. She is like this much deep into your, like she dug her fingers up and underneath your ribcage on one side. She is tickling your lung currently with her fingers.
Well, that's hot.
I need someone to clip that. What do you want to do? Otherwise, I'm going to do something. I'm giving you an action here, Joe.
I am. So
Get her fingers out of you, Joe.
yeah,
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm gonna rip her fingers out of me, I guess.
Okay,
Not the first
this
time
is
that's been said.
PG-13 children. Nothing about this is PG-13 anymore. This is gonna be a contested strength. So you're gonna roll your strength at the top. Oh, that's so bad.
Single goddamn die. 72.
94. You kind of grab onto her wrist and pull her hand out. And at the same time, from behind you,
Am I gonna get penetrated from behind again?
you hear first an ungodly scream, which I refuse to do because I will not blow anyone's eardrums out. It is high pitched, it is unnatural, and your body gripping her wrist freezes. So you're temporarily paralyzed. I need a sanity roll. But first, you're going to take 5 points of sanity from your total. And then I will have you roll. As the scream pierces in. Anyone else on the first floor? Roll me a luck check, Atticus, just to see if you've managed to get up to the mezzanine or not.
I have that was a 48. I have not.
Okay. You will also roll me a sanity check. I'll say due to distance, you are not currently paralyzed for this round.
I rolled a 22, so I'm good.
22. Okay, so the sanity is you lose that initial 5, but
Yep.
the
Still good. I have a 47
Okay.
currently.
13.
you also 13. Okay, you are fine. You are not paralyzed. You do hear the shriek. It's unnatural. It is completely up to your prerogative. You think this is something other than Miss Clara. It could just be Clara screaming.
I can't tell that there's something behind me screaming.
Oh no, you do. Atticus does.
Oh.
You hear this scream, and you feel into the top of both shoulders, and then raking down 2 sets of claws. You cannot dodge. You are paralyzed. Okay. You will take 8 points of damage.
Okay.
As these claws rake down your back from shoulder to the base of like the hem of your trousers,
Okay.
basically. Roll me a d4 to see how many rounds the paralysis lasts.
Well, I'm at 0 hit points.
Oh! Dan, you, in this moment of having pulled this hand out, kind of almost, I would say maybe a little cocky in your position of being like, I can take control of the situation. The scream emanates from behind you. And there is fear that fills you. You're able to control it, but it is that like cold fear that kind of spreads from the very center of your being. And then there is pain. Pain that you have not felt ever in your life. Not now, not when you were fighting in the Great War. and you kind of fall to your knees, and Clara begins to stand up as much as she can on her one leg, just kind of cocking her head again and looking at you, that grin still in place. And as you lay on the ground, bleeding out, you see this other figure. Almost shadowed, and as your vision fades, it's hard to make out distinct features, but it is the long, kind of wet, dripping hair, talon-like hands. And there's almost, you think legs, but in a shifting of light, tentacles? No, they're legs. And that's kind of the last thing as you're fading that you're focused on. Do you have any final thoughts that go through your head as Detective Dan?
Just utterly confused at this whole evening. Never really got an idea of what the hell was going on. He just looks at the crazy old lady who stabbed him in the chest with fingers, and now a squiddy, fishy lady, and just, I don't know what was in that gin. That's the last thought that crosses his mind.
Yes, it was just the gin all along. And Detective Dan fades.
Goodbye.
We cut to the dark quiet of a bed. Mary Ann, you snap back to consciousness, following the sound of an ungodly shriek from beneath you as you've laid on the floor directly above where this has just taken place. Disoriented, you try and sit up. You smack your head to the underside of the bed. It doesn't feel great. And you're underneath the bed. There's no one down here with you. But you have the memory of something grabbing you, of something dragging you. And from above you, you hear the faint playing of music.
I'm just gonna look around under the bed real quick. Like, look for symbols. Anything that's, like, stored under here. Trapdoor. I don't know. Like,
It'd be really funny if there just was a trapdoor right on top of Dan. There's not a trapdoor, unfortunately. You do find... Please hold, there's so many things here. You do find, as you're looking underneath of there, almost as if it was maybe dropped off of the side table, there is a silver pin. It's like almost like a badge pin, like it has a design on it. It's a crown and ornate letters within a circle. And written around the outside edge is "For King and Empire Services Rendered." And there's a serial number on the back. But you do find a pin.
so, do I recognize the symbol at all?
You would be maybe not familiar with the specificities of it, but you would know that the Great War did happen. And presumably whoever this person was fought the British forces. So Spencer, you would know, is British.
Mm-hmm.
And this is his room.
Okay. That serial number. I don't know what I would do with it, but I'm gonna take the pin and make my way out from underneath the bed.
Okay. You do so. The room is
there
undisturbed.
Oh, sorry.
Nope, you're good.
I know I was snooping in here, and then I got, like, yoinked.
Mhm.
Did I finish snooping? Like, did I look through everything and not find anything?
You had not gotten a chance to snoop when this all happened. If you'd like to stoop now, there is the desk.
Okay.
You do fine. Roll me a spot hidden.
Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's a 92.
You find a couple books. In one of them is written. I'm assuming you don't speak Aramaic.
They
No.
don't really speak that in Alabama.
And I'm assuming no Latin either, unfortunately.
Nope, not that one either.
Find the two books, neither of which you can read. You do find the 92. Yeah, unfortunately, you find the two books. Nothing else really catches your eye immediately.
Right, I'm gonna leave the room and try to cover my ears and make my way towards where the sound is coming from.
You head back toward the mezzanine, kind of listening to the music overhead, and you actually bump right into Atticus.
All right, I have my ears plugged. Just Atticus, it's that music again.
Yeah, why are your hands over your ears?
I just feel like it's probably not a good idea to listen to it.
Okay, I mean, I'll just put my hands over my ears.
Didn't you say them notes kill?
Yeah, when you're playing them, not listening to them. When we were in the crowd, eyes didn't start bleeding, just hurt.
I guess I'm scared.
And like he's gonna put his arms out and like gesture as in like I'm gonna touch your shoulders. Like, hey, it's okay. You're good. You can take your hands, your ears. You might need them just in case crazy happens.
Huh?
Yep.
Okay. Something crazy happened?
Take your hands off your ears. Just in case something Yeah, thank you. Just in case something crazy happens, you're gonna need putting them up near your ears won't keep you safe.
I said I'm scared.
Yeah, it's okay to be scared. I think I'm scared too. I heard screams, and we need to stop this music. I don't know. I stopped the music downstairs. We need to go find it somewhere up here, and stop the music.
Okay, were the screams coming from the same direction as the music? I didn't hear no screams. If I'm being honest, I had a really awful experience just now. I was pulled under a bed, and I was knocked right out. I don't know how long I was asleep for, but something grabbed my ankle and pulled me under a bed.
Like you specifically, like it grabbed you and pulled you under the bed and you there?
Yeah, I woke up under the bed and I was all alone and I found this. And I show him the pin. But it was just kind of next to the bed, like it fell off the nightstand. I think, and between you and I was kind of being naughty. I was looking in Mr. Spence's room. I probably shouldn't have been in there, but I took a pin out of my hair and I may have jimmied the lock loose a little bit. And well, I just wanted to know what was going on. And then I heard giggling and I saw a shadow and I could have sworn it sounded just like my little sister's. And when I went to go look under the bed, this hand grabbed me and it pulled me right under, and that's the last thing I remember until I woke up.
So you broke in the room, which I fully understand. I'm trying to figure out the mystery too. You said your little sister's giggling?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And is your little sister in here? Like, does she live here?
No, she's back in Magnolia Springs. But I swear it sounded just like her.
So you followed the sound of her giggling under the bed?
Yes, I saw a shadowy figure and kind of a blur because I wasn't looking directly in that area of the room. And then I called out and I said, hello? And I said, Suzanne? And then I heard giggling, and I swear that giggling sounded just like Suzanne. You could close your eyes and you wouldn't know the difference. And so I didn't know it was under the bed, so I went and checked what was under the bed, and all I could see was a hand grabbing me, and I got pulled under, and then I blacked out.
Okay. Food for thought. Don't. Your sister's not here, so if you see her, walk away. Don't go near her. It's not her. If you see her here, since you know she's not here. But let's go stop the music before your little sister knocks you out and drags you under the bed again.
Yeah, I'd rather that not happen twice.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna like listen and try to go towards the sound of the music again before our friend does something crazy.
You follow the sound of the music all the way to the other end of the house, to the very end of the east wing. Entering in, you see a large study, walls lined with books and various pieces of artwork, a large desk, a couple nice sofas, some lounging areas to lay and read, and you see, as you enter into the door to the right, a set of stairs that lead up. The music is coming down from the top of the stairs.
Do you hear any giggling or anything?
Do I hear any giggling?
No. Just the sound of the music.
No, sir, I just hear music.
Okay. I'm gonna go first, but I need you to know that if something happens and I turn and run, don't go looking for the thing that I'm running away from. All right, just follow me.
I'll grab Tallulah. And then I'm just gonna lift up the leg of my skirt and just get a little pink derringer out. All right, I'm ready.
So you didn't have that this whole time, and you just now. You know what? As long as it's out and as long as you're ready, good. And
Well, I
I'm
wasn't
going
gonna
to-
grab it when I saw my sister.
Should have. She knocked your ass out. I'm going to. He's gonna lean down and pull his the cane back out and unsheath the sword. Look again. If I turn to run, don't shoot me or don't run into me. Just turn around and run, okay?
That's some fine cane you got there, mister. All right, I'll run if you run.
All right, I trust you, and we'll make our way up the stairs.
You begin making your way up the stairs, and from overhead and now in front of you, as you step in, you hear this symphony kind of cresting to its peak. Where it had cut off before, this time it is finding its way to finish through. It is a strange, almost wailing-like sound, almost a lament. The mix of this soprano voice singing alongside the 4-string instruments playing. It's both haunting and beautiful, and it has kind of that same effect you've been fighting against all night. It's unsettling, and for a moment you almost pause as you step into this room and you see kind of before you a decent attic space. The ceiling beams kind of protrude almost skeletally from the sloped ceiling overhead, again giving that feeling of being enclosed by a rib cage. You see kind of the bare floorboards, dust swept away. There's no natural light coming in from outside. The space is almost kind of hot, claustrophobic feeling with the lack of windows. You see kind of candles grouped about throughout the floor, kind of set lining the space along the walls where the floor meets the sloping of the ceiling. You see kind of in areas of darkness, you see canvases stacked off in a corner. There's art supplies, brushes, pots. There's easels scattered about the room, kind of covered in dust sheets. You see before you, as you enter in, what appears to be some sort of mysterious black stone, like an altar, maybe obsidian. You see chairs set out for the musicians where they sit, their music stands before them, playing. You do see Evelyn, once again, tears streaming down her face, not blood this time, but just sobbing as she plays this piece of music. The other three, their faces contorted almost into these expressions of ecstasy as they play. Kind of as you step fully into the room and take a closer look at the altar, you see chains kind of on it, hooked to who is currently sitting, not laying, Gloria, the singer, who you can see singing in front of you, kind of cresting to this crescendo of the piece, also with tears streaming down her face. And you see Spencer conducting back to you. And you also see, set off to the side of the musicians, back to you as well, painting, stands Ruby Celine. Ruby, what exactly have you been painting?
If I may go back for just a moment.
Yes, please.
As I entered back into the house and I heard this symphony coming from above, it brought me a comfort that I haven't experienced in a while, and so I began following it. And as I was following these sounds that I was hearing, I was no longer in this grand Everett Lodge following a symphony, but I was back home at my brownstone in Brooklyn, laying on the floor of my kitchen, looking up and seeing my mom humming a tune that she always hummed, a lullaby that she sang to me when I was a baby, a song that almost seemed like she didn't even realize she was singing it. She was so in tune to it. And there I am, suddenly laying on my belly on the kitchen floor, doodling in the corners of my dad's newspaper. I'm drawing stars and clouds. I'm drawing the sun. I'm drawing what I imagine the planets to look like. All in the little crevices, in between letters, down the sides, between articles. And I look up at my mom and she's humming away, making dinner, and I look back down and I'm doodling, and I look back up and suddenly my mom is gone. And I look back down and I'm standing and I'm holding a paintbrush, and I look back up and there are swirls. I'm in a dark room. There's gold and yellow swirls on a wall in front of me, surrounded by candlelit. And as I look up at what I just created, I see an entire constellation. And I turn around and I see the scene that you just said.
Mm-hmm. And for you, there's almost, for the first time that you can remember in a very long time, almost like this sense of relief. There is no longer that drive to paint the symbol. That's gone. You've done that. Maybe for the first time ever, like that's that push that unnatural urge to paint this is satiated. And for probably the first time tonight, you are fully yourself. Well, you are here, and you see, as you finish that final brushstroke, the gold in the paint almost begins to glow. And the music behind you crescendos. And you see your two friends, fellow investigators, step into the room. What are you all doing?
Miss,
I look at
go ahead.
I look at Atticus and I just say, I'm sorry. I didn't know what I needed to do.
All right. Okay, sweetheart. What do you need to do? What is the thing that's...
Oh, I did it. And I take a step back and I wave my hand out at this large mural that I've been working on. And I say, this is my masterpiece.
Okay. It looks beautiful. It's fantastic. It's amazing. Why did you come to the most secluded part of the house to do it?
I don't know.
Okay. How about you come over here and we can look at it, from a distance together, the three of us.
A voice cuts through as Spencer continued to conduct speaks. Oh, it's far too late for that. The preparations are underway. The church has purchased the land. Clara has painted all these beautiful paintings. And Miss Ruby Celine this evening painted the final one that we needed here tonight. You could certainly try to stop us, but I don't think you have it in you to do such a thing. Continues to conduct, back still to you, facing the musicians.
Hey, how good are you of a shot?
My daddy gave me my first gun when I was 4.
Well, I
Who?
see a conductor.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna shoot him in the neck.
Roll to hit, please.
No kneecaps.
No kneecaps.
I just there it is. Is it just a brawl that I roll?
You should have a stat with your weapon.
For some reason, it only gives. I only have the damage written down.
Alright, so you using firearms with a handgun is going to be 40, 20, and 8 is going to be the 3 sets of numbers to hit.
Okay. I rolled one of them. This could go very, very, very well or very poorly. It's a 5.
5 total.
I can take a photo of it.
That is an extreme success. You don't even have to roll damage for this. You level your gun. And with perfect aim, it is a clean shot through. And you watch as Spencer's body crumples and falls to the ground. Just as the final note is played. And the room falls into silence. You see the paint from the painting And for Ruby, you feel it as it begins to run like water, gushing over the edge of this painting around your feet. I would assume you probably begin to back away. You see Gloria Day still chained to the altar. Body falls back in stunned silence, body jerking and thrashing. You see her bones and joints kind of creaking and cracking as this water flows from the painting and spreads out across the floor, almost soaking into this obsidian stone altar. The silence itself is unnerving. You could hear a pin drop outside of the noise of the water flowing from this painting. You see in one fluid motion, Gloria, or perhaps whatever is now in Gloria, snaps one of the chains with her hand. But it's not a hand. It's twisted and clawed. You see as still humanoid in shape. Her face has lengthened and twisted, mirroring what you saw on Evelyn earlier in the evening. Bones slightly misshapen and skin stretched. You see jagged teeth kind of behind broken and bleeding lips. Her eyes have sunken in, almost pinpoints of red and shining out from her skull. Her hands kind of gnarled into claws, and you see as she rips the other chain and begins to crack and adjust and stand. The 4 musicians are limp behind you. You do not know if they are alive or dead. You can certainly check. There is the 3 of you, and there is what is left of Gloria before you.
Ma'am, I would like to say to start, this is none of my business. Miss Ruby, we should leave like immediately, and I'm immediately backing out of the room.
You want to leave? Oh, my sweet Atticus, but we are just getting started. You don't want to leave just now, do you? Takes a step forward, her footfall heavy on the floor as it creaks. You know, it was difficult to speak to you all only in music and in artwork. My dear Ruby, you've done such beautiful work for me. It'd be a shame to leave now, wouldn't it? And her head kind of unnaturally snaps back to look at you. You are of your own control in this scenario. That influence is no longer driving you, so whatever you choose to do is fully you. I just want you to be fully aware of this.
Did you come from this? And I point at the paint that is dripping down the wall.
In a way, in a sense, you merely opened the door for me. You see, Clara's been so useful. You paint enough symbols, weave enough arcane magic into your art. Sometimes the muse that drives you to create such masterpieces can come through.
Who are you?
No one important. I'm merely the beginning. The opening act for someone far more important than I. Though Spencer, and she kind of like reaches down and kind of picks him up by his head and kind of just studies him before dropping, and he falls to the ground again in a heap. Now, he was useful. He called me his muse. And I did drive him to create such wonderful music. She takes another heavy step forward towards Atticus and Marianne.
Marianne, you remember my rule? The number one rule coming up these stairs?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Miss Ruby, I'm really happy you made a new friend. Um, that's fantastic. I would like for you to come with us.
I speak to the being again.
Mhm.
Are you my muse? Should I paint the symbol on you? Would that help?
On her. Now, while that would be clever, and why I would love to say that I was yours, no. That symbol you've been painting belongs to someone far more interesting. Someone who walks in dreams, who alters the things you can see when you sleep. Atticus certainly knows who I'm talking about, don't you, darling? And again, the unnatural, quick whip of the head back from Ruby to you.
Uh, Ma'am, though I do know about the King in Yellow, I don't know too much as to call him like something that I would consider a muse or a friend. Uh, I'm just some lonely curator that's trying to get back home to his art. Is it? Do you mind if we go ahead and we could just step out of the room and let you talk to your new artist? Or again, Ruby, get.
I think you should let them go. You're already here. I'm here. And your friend is coming soon. I don't think we need Atticus or Marianne anymore.
So there's been a lot of
Yep,
monologuing and
What would you have
chitting-chatting.
liked to have done in this time? Before the next thing
Yeah.
happens?
So Atticus still has his sword out, the cane sword. Marianne is with the hand that's not on her derringer. She's just gonna reach into her back pocket and grab a bottle out and unscrew it.
Molotov cocktail.
No,
Okay, alright.
I'm gonna drizzle the tiniest bit of liquid on the cane sword so that it just drips down. And then I'm gonna,
Is this the bottle that has...
yeah.
Okay. Understood. I understand.
Just in case running doesn't.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Do I notice this, or am I just
I
sitting
would
there
see
with
you-
a drippy sword?
You see her pour whatever this liquid is onto your sword, yes.
It's like, hey,
Hmm?
I would like to know what the hell you think you're doing to my sword. I'm trying to talk this down. Is this something that's gonna help, or are you just like shining weapons in the middle of conversations?
Now, I've been a bartender for a little while now. Sometimes I seen men come into my bar, and I don't like those men. I don't like the way they treat people sometimes. Sometimes they put things in their drink that I don't like seeing. So I learned to start carrying around my own cocktail. And why? That cocktail tends to make it so I don't see that customer anymore. I don't think I'd like to see this customer no more. So you go ahead and you use that blade like you would, but I would wash it off very well after you get home.
Man, we're gonna have to talk about you killing customers. You made my drink. I'm gonna turn, and I'll to
While this has been happening, we're gonna cut real quick back to Ruby. If you could make me a persuade check with that last statement of trying to have her let the other two leave. –
read?
It'll be at the top of the
Got
third
it.
column.
Oh, wow.
You could do it. Roll really well. I have faith.
Okay. Nope. I had to get within a 10 and I rolled a 21.
Do you want to push your roll?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
So what you'll do is you'll go ahead and you'll roll again. We'll take the second roll. I want to know how you push it. What else do you say to try and persuade her in this one? We'll take the
No,
lower
I
of the
actually,
two.
I don't mean push. I mean, can I use my luck?
Yes, you can spend your luck.
Because that'll take me down to 22. Awesome. So that'll take me to a success.
Okay. Which is good because she was gonna go for you if you had failed that roll. So she does. Her attention fully turns towards you. So just let them leave and you'll stay. Is that the deal we're making?
I've already created my masterpiece. That's all I ever wanted to do. And now I can be yours.
I did lose 2 puppets this evening, I suppose. Replacing one would be beneficial. She's fully focused on Ruby in this moment. If there is something the two of you wanted to do, now might be the time to do it, as she has fully turned her attention toward Ruby.
Turn around. Hey, do you what does this do? What is it? What if I run up and stab her? Am she gonna like explode somehow? I don't know how you were killing your customers. Like, what does it do?
Killing is a very strong word. They just go to sleep and they don't wake up. But I put quite a lot in there, and if you cut her with it, that's directly to the bloodstream. So she ain't gonna have half an hour to think about what she done, if you know what I mean. I also got Tallulah. I can help.
If I'm going to do, if I miss, aim for the head.
I'm just gonna grab him by the shoulder, and I said, if this is your first time, just know, don't hesitate or she'll kill you. All right? You gotta commit. This is not commitment. When you decide you're gonna end someone's life, you gotta just end it.
This isn't my first time. That's not the problem here. The problem here is that we just watched her palm some grown man's head and lift him up like he was a doll. I don't want to be next.
He only had really half a face. Wasn't that much head.
Speaking of not that much head, just right here on her when she turns around, because we're gonna have to get Ruby out. I mean, as soon as I say that, noticing that we have no time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sword to my chest, sprinting into the back of her.
I'm gonna shoot with Tallulah while he does it so that I get there first and he's not in the way.
Okay. Gunshot. Roll to hit. You're looking for 40 at the base. 28.
It landed in the middle of 2.
Is it like cocked? If it's cocked, you can re-roll it.
Yeah, it's like basically it fell at the bottom of my dice tower and it's propped between 70 and 30 and I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's
what do
cocked.
I
Go ahead,
do?
re-roll.
The gun jams a little bit. Hang on a second.
Just a second. As you definitely should.
That was beautiful. Thank you, gun jam. That's a 22.
Oh, disgusting. I love it. Roll damage. You, as you're running forward, watch the bullet strike into her shoulder. And you run in to stab. If you will roll to hit as well.
I think
This
I roll a
is- this
d6
is-
for damage, right?
Yes, a Derringer should be a d6 plus your damage bonus.
I don't have a damage bonus.
A
Should I have a
D6?
damage bonus? Oh,
No, not always.
that's a 4.
A 4 to hit.
Oh no, Oh, I thought you were talking about my damage roll.
I'm
No.
waiting. I'm waiting for her
Neat.
to turn around and hit me, and you're like, just to sustain. What do you do? Roll 100. It's in the moments. Go.
Okay, so that was 4 points of damage from Tallulah. Okay. She gets hit and begins to whip back around again unnaturally fast. And you drive your cane sword clean into her chest. With an extreme success, I'm gonna have you basically whatever your max damage would have been, and I'll have you roll an additional die.
Does my extra
Oh, that's right. What is your arsenic poisoning that I sent you?
that
Is that 2d10?
You were giving them arsenic?
arsenic is 4d10.
Oh god.
Well.
Okay,
Oh shit.
I'm gonna need you to roll 4d10. You're stabbing, and your sword is a d6?
Oh.
Or is it a d8?
Oh, you said 4d10.
Wow, things happened that I did not foresee happening. Your sword cane is a d6 plus your damage bonus, so it would be a base 10. I will have you roll that d6 and the d4. So we're starting at 10 damage, and then rolling 4d10, a d4, and a d6.
4d10, d4, and a d6.
Plus 10 is basically whatever you roll plus 10.
That lands on an 8. So 43 plus 10.
How would you like to do this? As
Yes.
she had 53
I know you didn't want to be saved, Ruby, but you coming home.
She had 53 hit points. We didn't even need the bullet.
It distracted her a little.
It got her to turn, and as she turned, you had free range, open chest, nothing guarding her as she turned.
I am going to... I'm going to say that I was running so fast and pretty much scared to hell. I hit her and just drove her directly back into the mural and pinned her to the mural.
Interesting. As you drive backwards and her body makes contact with this painting, it doesn't stop. It almost pushes through. And you see her try and grab at the sides, and you just drive harder, and the painting almost grabs her in the weirdest way. Almost void-like hands grab and pull her back in, taking your sword with her.
Wait, no, come on. Before she goes in, can I say
Yes, as she's being absorbed into this painting.
I don't want you dead. The next time you're free, come and find me.
Okay.
Do I hear this? Can I
I
smack
want
him?
I want my sword back.
I will say roll me a dex to see if you can grab your sword. I'll give you a chance.
Oh, no, I'm saying that to her as in, bring me my sword back next time you're free.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. The only answer you get is a scream as she is pulled in, and the light fades from the painting, and the attic is silent.
Miss Ruby, we have to go now.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going to reach my hand out for Miss Ruby and hopefully she takes it and doesn't stab me in the back.
I take it. I was trying to let you guys go, but I guess you didn't need my help. For what it's worth, it looked like a universe, but I titled that one Supermassive Black Hole.
That is an amazing name.
I love
How
you
about
so
how about we get you somewhere where you can recreate it or make something even better?
And
I
you
don't
did
think I'm
help.
gonna- I don't
You
think I'm
distracted
gonna
her.
do anything better than that. I think I'm done with this for a little while. But let's go.
That's even better.
Good
As soon as you
choice.
take my hand, yeah, I'm like look back, give a nod, and be like, "Rule 1," and then we just take off running.
You, unimpeded, make your way down the stairs, through the east second floor hallway, across the mezzanine and down the stairs to a silent great room. I would assume you check on Dan.
Yeah, well, I'd be like, "Hey, Dan was beating up some old lady. We need to go check on him before we leave."
You
Oh, this might be a good time to tell you. I don't know if everything that I've seen tonight is real or not, but I think our tires are slashed.
Oh, well, I didn't drive.
I didn't either.
um you step in to the parlor and you see Detective Dan Diamond sprawled across the ground in a pool of blood, unmoving. Just like that.
Damn, Daniel.
You see Clara sitting on the couch, also unmoving, eyes staring blankly at a painting, a pleasant smile across her face. Knowing that your tires are slashed and with the familiarity that Miss Mary Ann would have, you make your way through the rest of the west wing, out kind of a side door of the lodge, back to the garage where there are vehicles waiting for you. You are all able to leave behind whatever has occurred here this evening.
I, for one, before we leave,
Yeah,
I'm
what else do you do? What else do you do in the lodge before you make your exit?
I'm gonna
Got a little-
grab
got a little
Dan's
time.
38. That's what I'm gonna do.
You steal the guns. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's all.
Very nice.
Rest in peace.
Were there I know what my purpose is to be here. Was there
Mhm.
any clues, or was the item I'm here?
In the rooms you were in and the places you went through, I will say there were a handful of books that caught your eye in the study, easy enough to grab and take with you. Beyond that, the specific item you were looking for, you don't find anywhere. Granted, I would assume none of you really want to spend too much time here in the lodge, because you don't know what else is here. But there are some books. I would say, as you make your way through and out of the attic, if there was any paint you wanted to grab, Ruby, there's plenty of painting supplies.
Actually, on my way out, I make it to the vehicles and I'm about to step in, but I stop and I look back at the lodge. And I reach into my bag and I pull out my shimmering yellow paint in my palette and I lay it on the ground before leaving it behind to walk into the bus, car, vehicle thing.
Very nice. Okay. Items gathered and or left. You all make your escape into the darkness down the same winding path that we followed in at the beginning of our story. And for now, whatever this was has been put back away.
Said for now.
And that is the end of our story.
Thank you, Hands. This was so fun.
That was at my first. I need everyone to know this. My first, and hands down my favorite session being at a table ever. I absolutely love this. Thank you so much.
Aww.
Thank you all. You guys were all amazing and
You're
repeatedly
amazing.
broke me, and I did not know. I overplanned for this, and you all threw me some curveballs, and I loved it immensely.
This was really fun, and it was great meeting you, Tech. You're fucking great, and I hope you keep playing on this channel in some way. Join our one shots or something. Like,
I would love to. I just need Detective Dan to.
We have free survivors if at some point in the future you want to continue down this path. However, we did have a casualty tonight. A round of applause for
Don't
Dick
clap for
Van
me.
Diamond.
Don't give me your fucking pretty claps. I don't want your bullshit pretty claps.
Well
Fucking
done.
targeting me with picture monsters.
Hey,
Amazing.
you lit that candle. I just let it burn.
okay, what grabbed me? What yoinked me under a bed? Can you tell me that?
So all the variations of the painting were potential portals for the siren, what this entity was. Sometimes called the Muse of Hastur, who is the king in yellow, for those who know the lore and the yellow symbol. Throughout the evening, especially too when the music was being played at the end, she was able to go in and out of the paintings. So
This
while
bitch
the
killed me?
music, yeah, that's what killed you. She also popped through the painting upstairs and inhabited Gloria so she could be fully corporeal and like walk among people.
I had a feeling it was some teleportation bullshit.
Yeah. And we'll never
man.
know about Phyllis.
No, we'll never know. But I mean, Tech, you left it kind of open for her to come back and return your sword to you.
She needs to give me back my sword, not in the way that she wants to, but give me back my sword.
She'll bring that back. Don't worry about it.
She'll try to treat you with that sword anytime.
No. No, that was fantastic. I kind of feel bad, as I've mentioned, for the people watching that don't know. I wanted to play basically the guy that's like the or just the person that's always just like, don't do that, don't go in that room, like in the movie. I wanted to play that person for. I feel like I did a good job doing it, but I ruined not being able to do a lot of lore stuff because I was just like, oh yeah, that painting, X that. Nope, I'm good.
So Kate Greg called that out. She was like, Attic is the totally reasonable horror movie character everyone wants, but no one ever gets to see.
No, you were great. It was really fun, and it was really fun to roleplay with you because all of us were like really intentionally being so stupid, and you were like the only person that was like the voice of reason, and all of us are like, "Are you okay? You feeling warm?"
I failed every single sanity check.
Your sanity was so low,
So,
but it
I
was so
had no-
perfect for your character.
I had no chance to be the reasonable person because I wasn't under my own control.
And also, well done for
Roleplay-wise?
that. Thank you.
Yes, I was gonna say roleplay wise. Jesus, half the time I was just like, no, just go, you do your thing. You did amazing.
So good. This was the roleplay was so fun with. I mean, everything was fun for this, but the roleplay was really fun.
Yeah, Hans, if you have any other tables and you need Atticus.
I would
Don't
love
do
to
that
have
shit.
Atticus
Like,
back at some point. You all
Call
were
it
so
Cthulhu
amazing.
Christmas
Thank you
special.
all for playing, and yeah, and thank you, Joe, for letting me run Call of Cthulhu for the first time here
Thank
on
you.
Nag.
Yes.
It's new. It's been a minute since I've streamed a game, so it was very exciting.
Well,
You can see Hands tomorrow for Queer and Present Danger. Come back tomorrow.
yes.
Will be.
If
Joe has a
that-
schedule.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if that's all we have, I will
Yes.
read out our schedule for this week. Tomorrow we have Queer and Present Danger showing up for another episode. This Thursday we're taking off for Halloween. And actually that's Queer and Present Danger is the last show we have for this week. You can catch us on Monday the 4th for another episode of Forging Fates. And you can catch me and Tech on Records of the Realm on Sunday, where we continue our Darkness Arc campaign, where spoiler alert, Tech, one half of Tech's character died. Come find out what the fuck that means.
Oh no.
That's all I've got. If there is anything else anyone wants to shout out?
I'm gonna do one shameless plug. Because on Halloween, since there's nothing going on here on Dig, you can find me over on Pocket Dragon Pub, which is a Twitch, for a Rolling for Charity one-shot Candela Obscura. Join us for our circle of is it Wire and Wishes? And yeah, we are gonna be super spoopy, and it's for charity. So hey, come find me over there.
Okay.
I'm just shout out myself. Hey, I'm Taz. I like to play games with friends and strangers. You can follow me at Reader and Rogue on all social medias that I'm a part of. Invite me to be a part of your table. I'll probably say yes. And good night.
Rima, do you want to shout yourself out?
Yeah, my name is Rima Rabbit. I have my own channel, but I'm honestly mostly here. And tomorrow, every other Wednesday, basically, Hans and I are in an all-queer cast D&D game that's all homebrew. Cece is the DM, and I get to torture her some more. It's just not as a DM, but as another player of mine. Yeah. If you want to watch me give Hans a heart attack every 2 seconds every other Wednesday, come back here. While she tries to corral children, herding cats.
And Tech, give us the out. Where can everyone find you?
Oh man, you can find me everywhere at TEKFROST. Right now, I am creating my own horror TTRPG called Hen House. Hopefully, we will be doing a not streamed but one-shot esque playthrough, anywhere from 4 to 6 players. We're trying to find some people. We'll be probably doing a quick little ask around, and after that we're going to put out a post. If you are into webtoons and things about myths and stories and stuff like that, I have created and have episodes out over on webtoons. You can find all webtoons. Is called 5 Stages of... What?
You're cutting out a little bit.
Cut out the last line you said, so.
It sound a little bit better now?
Yep.
Cool. If you're into webtoons, I have a webtoons going on. Myths is Lilith. She's back for her children, and if you find out. But yeah, feel free to come to both the one shot and the webtoons on my Instagram, TikTok, or Twitch. Yeah.
All right. Well, that has been it from New Age Geeks. We hope you enjoyed this. This is something we're trying out, a little mini series, do a monthly mini series with some of the bigger games, because we have Goodberry where we try those really small indie games. This has been our first try at these little mini series with some of the bigger games. If you have suggestions for some campaigns that we can do for these mini series, go ahead and post those in the New Age Geeks Discord. Besides that, that's all I've got for you. If I've got nothing else, if you guys got nothing else, remember, we love geeks. Stick around for the raid, and good night.